At the reunion, we discussed how we could give back to the NMLS in a tangible way. And there the seed was planted for us to establish a scholarship fund. We recognize the cost of law school is prohibitive for so many students. So we set up the fund specifically for those students from lower income families facing financial hardship to help reduce the financial burden of their legal education.
I came to the law school with big aspirations without fully appreciating just how much support and resources would be necessary to turn those aspirations into reality. That is why receiving this scholarship was so transformative. It allowed me to focus on my studies without having to think about my financial constraints. That is why alumni support is so important, as it opens doors for students and expands opportunities and gives us confidence knowing that someone has seen it fit to fund our education and believes in us.
Welcome to the Norman Manley Law School. We are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the official launch and broadcast of the 1997 Cohort Alumni Giving Campaign. My name is Christopher Townsend, and I am the ambassador, cohort ambassador for the class of 1997. So, Dr. Malcolm, I want you to take a moment and give us Norman Manley Law School broader alumni engagement mandate. How you want us to connect with you?
The connection starts with what we're doing now, quite frankly, interestingly enough. And, you know, the class of 97 has been a good group. And not simply because...
An excellent group.
An excellent group. And not because both of us are part of that group.
That's right.
That's right.
But the reality is that we have found a way to stay together. And we have done so over time.
Yes.
I'm not saying other groups are not doing it. But we are up.
Well, I don't hear about any other group getting called in the various countries and planning reunions and all of that. So if they are doing it, let us know.
There's a joke in our little WhatsApp chat group that it never sleeps because there's always somebody up at some point of the night.
Yes, you. And Nikki Berger can attest to that.
So,
she complains ready.
But the reality is that we have found a way to stay together and be supportive of each other. And it is part of that that has brought us here today, in addition to other things that we have been doing, quite frankly. Mm-hmm. And what we want to do is to see more students, more alumni, get involved similarly in initiatives, all for a common good. There's a nest egg. It's a simple nest egg, and we have to protect it. And I am particularly passionate about the Norman Manley Law School, the Council of Legal Education general in its programs, but we're speaking specifically now about the Norman Manley Law School and the recognition that this institution has served us so well, and we want the alumni to come back to say, look, here is what we have done. Here are some examples that can be followed.
Right.
We want the alumni to see scholarship opportunities, one, that can be given. But we also want alumni to say, we want to take students through mentorship. And I'm going to piggyback on something now, which has been in the news. TWP, for example, and not because you're sitting beside me, you're my good friend, but you have been you've pioneered something critical, which is your Lunch and Learn program.
I will see somebody from the Lunch and Learn here too.
Persons here involved in that. And that is something which we want to see. So what we are interested in is having the alumni support us at the law school to get our students engaged in that level of development. But we also want the alumni, when they leave, when the students leave and become young practitioners, to help to take them to that other level of development. Because it really is about stages of development in the law. And at every single stage, I mean, when you come into practice, however much you think you know,
You don't
You're
stop practicing,
still
you know?
going to be out
you
there
don't
with
stop
trepidation the first time you step into a courtroom. And even after you have been there,
Even after 30 years.
you still have trepidation.
Yes.
So we want to have persons who are saying we want to help to guide you through. And also, we know that persons are increasingly moving from one jurisdiction to another, one country to another. So we want to ensure that the alumni, wherever they are, can say, here I am. I can offer support to you. I will help you to transition. I'll help you to become more comfortable in the place that you're in. So it's something that it's a work in progress, but we want to do what we can to build an environment where students are comfortable in it and they feel after leaving, importantly, that they have reason to give back by reference to what was done for them and by reference to how involved the alumni were in trying to get them over that hurdle of completing their progress towards becoming lawyers.
Yeah, man, we have to take part in building the giants. Yes. And by the way, you have a Larry Smith online. If Larry Smith is online, yes, he's an honorary alumni of the Norman Manley Law School now. Yes, although he went to UWD, yes, because he has been here so many times. He's now honorary Jamaican. I see Mr. Carlo Mason here. Judge Carlo Mason from the 1997 class. Welcome, sir. Now, on that note, I want to segue to Ms. Williams, who is the 2025 scholarship recipient. Congratulations. Wanna clap her, no, man? Now, what difference do you think the alumni will make in your journey, your ongoing journey here, from being a student to a lawyer?
First, I want to say thank you for the scholarship. One of the big differences that the scholarship had on me is that it reminded me that I haven't been walking this journey alone, and I will not, and I continue to walk this journey alone. I definitely want to say that the alumni and their help in investing or even thinking in investing in young people is the power of pouring into someone else.
Right.
Sometimes someone would just like to hear, hey, I see you. Hey, I believe in what you are striving for and who you are becoming. And that is what that scholarship did for me and will do for others in the future. And as I venture into this profession, I would not just say I'm becoming an attorney,
Yes.
but I'm also going to stay committed to being someone who will also invest in that childhood dream that someone else may have. Because I said, I wanted to become an attorney in grade 2.
Grade 2?
Yes.
Yes, you did tell me that yesterday.
So it's a childhood dream that someone else has invested in, and the feeling is incredibly humble.
Good. If you had the opportunity, and you have the opportunity now, to speak to the class of 1997, what would you say to them? Some of them are here, some of them are online. What would you want to say to them?
Well, to the class of 1997, I would start by saying that I wish for you to remember how powerful pouring into someone can be. I also want you to remember that your investment, thinking of investing, or whatever you do, the mickle make a muckle, it will make up. And also, it's beyond a semester. It's beyond an academic year. It's in investing in the next generation, and it will show as this individual goes out into the community and serve the very community that we all are a part of.
Excellent, excellent. And that's an excellent segue in my call to the class of 1997. The 29, yes, it's 29 years now that we have graduated, and we want, yes, clap us, we want to start the 29 scholarship, where it is that I'm calling up on all, including you, sir, calling up on all of the 1997 alumni to donate $29,000. It's a small sum for us all. $29,000.
At least.
No, at least. Thank you, sir. At least that. You can give more. You can give more. Now, that is for our legacy. Yes? Your QR codes, I believe they are seeing them. There are QR codes in the program. utilize them. I think they're open up to the portal so that you can give. Now, I want to turn to my sister.
Yes, big brother.
Miss Yolanda Whiteley, she is a course director here at the Norman Manley Law School, and she is actually my sister. Not my blood sister, of course, because of course she's far better looking than I am. But I don't know if you recall when we were some of us who went to Kville, we had attached for transition and mentorship. We had assigned brothers and sisters. Unfortunately for Yolanda, I was her brother, her bigger brother, and therefore I was able to usher her through law school. And of course, if anybody trouble her, I was there for her. To hide behind her, of course, but we don't. Now, she is the course director here at the Norman Manley Law School. I want you to tell us, take us on a journey. The teaching environment here at the Norman Manley Law School, is it any different? Give me a comparison between now and when we were here.
All right. Thank you, big brother. And I'm happy to say he continues to be my big brother to this day. And I love that. The experience, I think, has changed quite a bit. In terms of the teaching, the students are given, I think, a lot more than we were when we were in school. In that now they have manuals. I think teachers are now more aware of different learning styles, and we try to cater to different learning styles. We have technology that is being used. We're also now in the age of AI, which requires us to teach the students how to responsibly use technology. We also are now more aware of persons being different, neurodivergent, and we have to think about how do we cater to ensure that those persons are not left behind, but are instead taught in the way that they should be. So I think a lot has happened in terms of the teaching. Very importantly, in terms of the learning and the student experience, I think we had more time for fun, quite frankly. I think the students...
Even if we didn't, we took the time.
We took the time for fun. I don't even know if we had a dress code, if we ignored the dress code, but I think the dress code, we didn't, did we? No, we didn't have a dress code.
White had a dress code.
Indeed. And I think when we look at things even like the dress code, having a dress code gives a requirement to a student. They have to find money to buy the clothes. You know what I mean? So when you think about the implications that these changes... Yes. And you see how beautifully they're dressed today. They're well taught, yes, and they've taken the lesson. So that's the reality that they face. Also, it's more hectic. The fact of the matter is we had a whole day within which to do what we did. We know because of the numbers have a morning stream and an evening stream, which means everything now is packed into a small set of hours. So they have the same number of courses, but it feels way more intense, and we require a lot from them. So in addition to the core courses that they have to carry, they also carry advocacy throughout the year, in year 1 and year 2. We didn't do that. I think we didn't even have to do a mock trial. I think we volunteered to do a mock trial, and we decided what?
I don't know, me can't remember doing a mock trial.
So we had to do it, but we did a 1 mock trial, I think, and we chose it. And then we didn't have advocacy throughout the year. And they have it on the timetable throughout the year 1 and in year 2. And they have legal aid like we did, and they have to go to court, and they have to do in-service like we did, but in a much smaller time period. Again, a practicality and reality is that the profile of the student has changed. A lot of us had parents who were able to take us through the journey. A lot of the students today, they have families, they have children, they have husbands, they have a lot of demands as well on their pockets. So you find even at the end of first year, they end up having to go and work and travel to earn money to be able to pay for school. So one thing that will happen here with the support is that the students will be freed to actually focus on what they need to focus on, which is learning the practice of law.
I want you to kind of, darling, for the alumni, tell us a little bit about beyond financial support, because we're asking them to shell out in relation to their pockets. But it is not only pockets alone.
Yes.
Tell us, beyond financial support, where do you see the greatest opportunity that the alumni can make here in terms of on-the-ground support?
Well, I would say time and energy can make a big difference. Participate in mentorship activities. We had the mentorship dining the other day. I think that made a big difference for the students. Even participate when they call you for sports day, when they have the competitions with practicing attorneys. Again, they're interacting.
Sports day?
Yeah. Yes. And they had football competition.
Nobody invited me.
People who can play football well.
Hold on, speak up it. I'll have you know, for those of us who are there, I was on the football team.
Do we hear the word was?
I played for Jamaica. I keep telling my son that I play for Jamaica, and he don't believe me.
Yeah. So I think get involved in that way. Also, as a course director, I would like to say that I'm a part of what is known as the Office of the Senior Tutor, which is run by Ms. Greenaway, which in addition to the full-time tutors who tend to be course directors, we rely heavily on associate tutors. In fact, we have just over 100 associate tutors. And I would say anybody who is feeling that call to come and share what you learn in practice every day, answer the call and volunteer to be an associate tutor. It comes with what can only be described as a stipend. It really is for the love of teaching and the love of forming. And I would really want to give a shout out for people to give time and energy perhaps to be involved in that way.
That sounds like Lisa. Yeah, man. Yeah,
All
shout
right,
out to
I'll
Lisa.
talk to her after.
No, I'm going to dial down a little bit on the opportunities for uptake in terms of what is it that we're looking at in terms of this campaign, because it's I must look there. It's an 8 weeks campaign. Don't worry about me, man. It's an 8 weeks campaign. Now, in this campaign, we want to raise some funds and we want to give our class and other alumni opportunity to come back home to the Norman Manley Law School. So I'm going to dial down a little bit in the opportunities that we can take part in. I've spoken to you about the 29-29 scholarship. I don't see anybody going into their purse and into their checkbooks yet, but I know, I anticipate that you will shortly. I see Miss Deidre English here, looking very wealthy. Now, the Norman Manley Law School have identified some 5 areas where it is that they want our support. Now, it is there on the board for those of you who are online. So you're looking at student support and access. Now, student support and access, you're looking at the 1997 Cohort Scholarship, which I mentioned before. We're also looking at the Norman Manley Law School Scholars Program and the Finish Line Fund. Now, the Finish Line Fund is very important because you have students who they have made it to second year and part of third year in some instance, and they can't finish because parents, everybody run out of money. It's a fact. We have seen it at TWP. We have given scholarships to some of your students. We don't go and announce it anywhere, any at all. We quietly give them a scholarship, so we'll pay for, for them to get over the line. So this is a formal arrangement that we're looking at to get some of these kids, some of these lawyers, some of these colleagues across the line. We have the Thought Leadership and Scholarship. For that, in that category, we are looking at the Norman Manley Annual Signature Lecture. We're also looking at reinstatement of the West Indian Law Journal. Yes. Yeah. Somebody said yes over there. Yeah, man. Oh, that's you, the academic. We're also looking at the Norman Manley Reasoning Event Series. That sounds like you're a baby.
Kinda.
Now, for the mentorship and professional development, of course, the dining and mentorship program for second year students which we did recently.
Yes.
Yes.
We
launched recently every quarter of the school year. Now, I don't know if we can make it every quarter, but we're going to try. The TWP family were instrumental in the launch, and we're instrumental, and we are committed to ensuring that at the very least we can keep it. We can try and keep it every quarter. The establishment and patronage of the new Norman Manley Law School Moot Society, yes, which is dear to your heart, and of course, specific to support the chosen moot teams for the upcoming regional competition, as well as support to Norman Manley Law School and our students, as Norman Manley Law School plays host to two significant upcoming competitions. That is the Margaret Fort and the ACLI. Interview. What is ACLI?
It's the American Caribbean Law Initiative Mooting Clinic. It's not a...
Was that here when we were here? No, so we don't remember that.
No.
Thank you, Carlo. It's an interview competition. And of course, the Jurist Residence Program, and of course, collaboration with the Street Law Initiative. And the final one is the Legacy Circle. Now, I'm not going to tell you much about the Legacy Circle because I'm going to reserve that for the registrar to do. I don't want to upstage him any at all. But we have to raise some $55 million. Now, it's not just the class of 1997. We're calling on the alumni across the world, across the Caribbean, everywhere, to let us come back home and make this thing happen. And I'm sure we can do it. $55 million is not a lot in comparison to how many persons the law school have graduated over the years, right? $55 million is not a lot. If we all give, we can make it happen. The class of 1997, we are committed to being the arrowhead to ensure that it happens, but we need the support of everyone.
Good day, everyone. My name is Sonia Williams, and I am a proud student of the Norman Manley Law School and a proud recipient of the Rona Morgan Burton's Bursary. My ambition is to become an attorney who not only advocates for justice, but also serve my community with integrity and compassion. Studying here has given me the foundation to do so. Receiving this scholarship has been transformative. It has eased the financial burden of my studies, allowing me to fully focus on my academic growth. Beyond academics, it has strengthened my confidence, allowing me to believe in myself and my potential because others have done so. This support has helped me to grow personally and professionally. Scholarships like this are more than financial aid. They are investments in the future of justice and leadership. Continued alumni support ensures that students like me can thrive, contribute meaningfully, and carry forward the proud legacy of the Norman Manley Law School. Thank you for believing in us.
All right. Now, anybody know TWP and anybody know Chris Townsend, Casey and Kennedy? We don't just talk, right? We do things. And so in anticipation of this event, we spoke to some of our friends, our clients, our supporters, and we asked them to give. And so they did. And so I'd like to just invite Miss Paige Dixon. She is Director of Corporate Affairs at the San Marino Paper Products. And just tell us of the gifts that you have brought to us today.
Sure. So good evening, everyone. On behalf of San Marino Paper Products and the San Marino Foundation, I'm pleased to be here to support the 1997 Cohort Alumni Giving Campaign. We're honored to contribute. We commend the 1997 cohort for using their journey to support continued development of this institution and the students who will come after them, and for allowing San Marino to be part of this important effort. Thank you.
Thank you for the $250,000 donation. All right, so it's very important for us to rally our our friend capital, the persons who are around us to support this effort. Now we're going to ask the online folks and those in studio. You see a QR code there on your program. There's a form there to complete, and that allows you to share your initial feedback so that we can follow up with you and, of course, determine the way forward. So in other words, that is your gateway to give back. One of the problems, Chris, that when I did my canvassing, one of the problems that there are persons who want to give, there are persons who want to support, yes, but they cannot find that route in. And so this effort is really to give them the roadmap to give the kind of assistance that they want. If Mr. Dylan Cook is online, we expect that he'll give somewhere in the region of $2.5 million or $3 million. Yeah? You agree with me with that, Carlo? And of course, we anticipate too that the partner of, I won't call her name, partner of Myers, Freshers and Gordon, yes, will not be outdone. So, my fellow alumni, 1997, the ambassador is asking you to give and give generously. And what we also anticipate too is that it is not only cash that we want. We want the money. Don't mistake it. We want the money. But we also want you to give of your time. When these young ones come out, they're going to need support while we're supporting them here. But as Dr. Malcolm says, the support goes beyond, I know I'm messing up your time thing, but the support, but this is important. The support goes beyond the school. The support takes us outside here into our mentorship program, because you'll never stop learning and you'll never stop needing support. Even at 29 years at the bar, I would still call my mentor and friend, Mr. Bert Samuels, and say, Bert, what do you think? I'll still call Mrs. Samuels Brown and say, Jackie, look here, I have this case. Let me bounce this off you. I'll call Mr. Peter Champagny and ask him. He calls me too, because he's only 2 years ahead. And of course, we are. So the mentorship and the support does not end here. Now, I'm going to go back to you, Mr. Principal. Now, tell me something. Where do you, how is it, how you want us, the 1997 class, to interact? What kind of systems you have in place to assist us in interacting, separate and apart from this? Is there any?
There are multiple avenues. The most important is, you said something earlier, and Ms. Whiteley said it, about giving back through sharing of information, right? And that teaching and learning here, at the stage we're at, many of us have reached that stage where there is a wealth of experience that we have had over time. And there are a lot of connections that we've also developed, both local connections, regional, and even beyond connections that we have. And a critical part of the learning of our students is learning how to interact beyond borders. The world has become borderless in many ways. And we want persons to assist students in getting over that hurdle. What we also have seen coming out is that practice has become more and more international in scope. There was a time when we entered practice early where it was much more insular and domestic. And I'm using the word insular in a very, in a crafted way, not in the way some persons generally think about it. But we were much more able to function at the domestic level. Now, whatever the transaction is that you do, invariably there is an international component, whether it is you're trying to deal with banking systems, where the regulatory environment has changed significantly or otherwise. And we need to help our youngsters coming out to understand, for example, how to manage their affairs, how to manage out of trouble, how to ensure that we do not run into problems where students, for lack of, or new practitioners rather, for lack of good guidance, find themselves before disciplinary committees. And so on. It's a critical
very
role
important.
that we have to play. So I want the class, separate and apart from what we're talking about now, to take it on ourselves, and for other alumni to do the same thing, to say we want to guide persons away from problems into the proper streams that they need to go into, and see how we can lend that support. There's something else that I want the class to bear in mind. I have, since coming in, and even before, because I taught for a number of years in the Faculty of Law before coming across, there are many heart-rending stories of need. I have heard many that I would not even wish to repeat, much less reflect on too hard, quite frankly. And we want to ensure that persons who are in those situations know that there are persons you can sometimes just talk to. So even if you're not able to give financially or otherwise, sometimes a word of comfort,
encouragement,
is sufficient.
It's very important.
We saw a lot of that coming.
Sometimes that work more than money, you know.
Very often it does. There's something else that I like. Very often we think about money as being the way to getting things done. I have found that using our resources of time and connections very often have even a greater value than the money that you're able to give. So let us pull together, make our networks available, make those other non-cash resources that we have also available, and of course give, like giving that we do when we go to some churches that pass the till around several times.
All right, now, Mr. Registrar, Mr. Mr. Carlando Francis. I was about to call you Malcolm because it's really, I hear as you run the place. Tell us, we hear this thing called registrar. What exactly is it that you do?
In higher education, you have the teaching and learning element of it, and you have the support services, essentially, that the teaching and learning is actually premised on. So we're talking about admissions, registration, assignments, examinations, graduation, property management, student services broadly, which includes counseling and all the technological arrangements that the institution is actually premised on. So it's quite a broad area.
So it's not just about money.
No, that is the least of our worries, so to speak. And when I say the least of our worries, what I mean by that is once the students pay the tuition fee, they expect a certain level of service driven by technology. And therefore, we spend a lot of time trying to improve or enhance the students' experience.
One of the considerations, I have no doubt, that the alumni will have is, simply put, after me go into my money, how me I go know whether or not to spend it on the pitney them? Yes?
Yes.
Tell me about what is in place for the transparency and for the reception and, accountability.
So I'll point to three areas. The first area is that we have best practices in relation to our accounting procedures, and those are well established. Any funds that are donated will go to a specific account for control purposes, but also for auditing purposes. The second level is that we operate on a committee structure. So for example, prizes and awards, scholarships and bursaries, etc., would normally go through a committee. So for example, TWP and the class of 1997, who will donate, let's say, a scholarship to the institution, they will have representatives on that particular committee who will consider candidates for these scholarships. So it's transparent in terms of how the scholarship is awarded and how much would be awarded to the individual student or students. And the third level is that we intend to direct the funds through our foundation, and that in itself has its own reporting procedures that are quite transparent as well.
Okay. So in other words, we're money safe.
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely.
All right. I'm going to segue a little bit into student life. Now, Miss Tian.
That's correct.
Did I pronounce it right this time? Miss Tian Brown, you're president of the Norman Manley Law School Student Association. That is correct?
That is correct.
Excellent, excellent. And when is it that you became president? It's 2026?
Yes.
So you're the incoming president?
That is correct.
Yes, good. Tell me, how do you see the alumni supporting you and students?
Well, I believe alumni engagement goes far beyond scholarships, and don't get me wrong, we can't have too much scholarships. Keep giving, don't stop, right? But I want to see, and I believe that it goes beyond into mentorship, internship, even career discussions, stuff like that, to have the students fully immersed and so they can have access to individuals that are able to help them along the path financially, but in actions and just a shoulder or even a brain to pick, similarly to how you can call Mr. Champagne and get an answer.
I don't call him very often.
Just because the fact that you're able to call him, I want that for myself and my fellow sister.
Yeah, you can call me if you want. So you are president of the Norman Manley Student Association, and you're a student.
That's correct.
So that seems to be wholly power to me. How do you find that balance?
It is a lot, but I believe that a balance must be struck. And you have to strike a balance between your legal education and supporting your peers. And truthfully, that is where the broad MLS or NMLS family comes into play, specifically the alumni, because then they're able to provide the support that I would need or any other student leader would need to ensure that they're carrying out their duties as a student leader by advocating, organizing initiatives, or even working with administration, but still playing their role as a student and maintaining academic excellence.
Nice. So you're going to make good luck. In
Jesus' name, amen.
Mr. Registrar, I'm going to go back to you, you see? The legacy program.
Yes.
Give us an insight as to what that is, how it operates.
The legacy program consists of 4 or 5 different areas, and I can just read them out for you. The visionary circle, the founder circle, the principal circle, and the NMLS fellow. For the visionary circle, the aim is to raise 15 million Jamaican dollars.
15 billion?
Million. For the founder circle, the aim is to raise at least 8 million Jamaican dollars. And the principal circle, 5 million, and the...
Why the principal circle so small?
So each category essentially is specifically designed for a specific kind of donor. And depending on how much the person wants to donate or the areas that they have an interest in, then they can have a private conversation with us and we can take it from there, certainly with respect to instructions on how to donate and have a discussion in terms of recognition as well.
Okay, nice. So that is for the big money people.
Essentially, yes.
All right, guys. Where's Mr. Mason? Oh, he's just walking in at the right time. So the legacy circle, that is where you will reside. So please give the $15 million and the $5 million. I say Laurie's left the room. So the legacy circle really is for the more long-term program that we're looking at.
As the term suggests, legacy.
Legacy.
So it's about really building a legacy. You have donors who are far more interested in, let's say, for example, providing scholarships and in other areas. But the legacy project is to ensure that 20 years from now, 30 years from now, that those inputs will actually have a significant impact on students to come.
Okay, nice. I don't know if I can make it to the legacy circle, but I will definitely.
And I had you at the head of the list, you know.
Well, you better take me off. All right. So while it is that we may not be in the legacy circle, somebody mentioned earlier, I don't remember if it was on or off camera, that one cocoa full basket.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And every make a muckle, that's what they said. Right. Who was the one who said it? Emily. Right. So every make a muckle.
Absolutely.
So again, what we did, we rallied our troops. I think this one was Miss Casey and Kennedy. She's not here. She's a partner at the law firm. She rallied her troops and she got in touch with Auto King. They are parts providers in the Portmore area, and Mr. Conroy McFarlane, who she spoke to. Unfortunately, Mr. McFarlane cannot be here this afternoon, but he has asked the most able Miss Dixon to assist him in announcing his pledge.
I am therefore authorized to donate another $250,000.
Wow, that's great.
So I want to understand something. Yes? A $500,000 me gone already. $500,000. Right? So yeah, it's a $250,000 lady, but she graduate no $500,000 lady now. Right? So I'm talking to my colleagues online, my colleagues in studio from the class of 1997. I want us to give and to give generously.
I am Shuana K. Smith, and I am a representative of the Class of 2007 bursary. This bursary has been a source of funding for students at the Norman Manley Law School for several years. It is awarded to students who demonstrate harmony between academic excellence on the one hand and community service and participation in school activities on the other. The intention of the bursary is to provide financial support to students who require assistance to complete their studies. Our class recognizes the importance of support, and many of us were recipients of bursaries and scholarships during our own academic journeys, and we wish to give back in a tangible way. It is our hope that as we prepare to celebrate 20 years at the bar in 2027, our donation would be even more substantial for the upcoming academic year. Scholarships and bursaries are important as they help deserving students to fulfill their dreams. Also, we wish to ensure that long after we have retired, a legacy of excellence will remain in the profession. The program also allows for networking, mentorship, and employment opportunities as donors interface directly and indirectly with beneficiaries, even before they have completed their studies. The class of 2007 plans to continue paying it forward and encourages other alumni to continue investing in the future of our profession.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we now have an opportunity to pose some questions. Persons online, persons in the studio, we have some opportunity to pose some questions to the principal, or Miss Whiteley, or the registrar.
Just for us to understand, what does an individual scholarship look like, or a bursary? What are we? A figure, yes.
It's a wide range, actually, because we really encourage persons to give as best as they can. And so you may find, in terms of scholarships or bursaries, on the lower end, 50,000, and then you have them going up to over $1 million. And, you know, of course, the ones that are over $1 million, that pretty much covers the person's tuition and goes a far way. So it's a wide range. And so it's really open for everybody to give as best as they can.
What I'd say though, I wish to add something to that. And we're talking historical data here, right? Because we're interested in moving forward. And I'm intervening for this reason. As we move forward with scholarships and bursaries, I think we have to now start thinking much more of how it is that can involve greater integration into the performance of the institution. By nature, I'm one of those persons who believe that nothing should ever be given for free. That's my basic way of operating. And I think that in all things, when things are given to you, there should be a concomitant obligation to yourself, give something, however little that is. And I think we then, in that process, have to ensure that we design scholarships and bursaries going forward, some of them anyway, not all, that allows students to be properly taken care of. But in addition to which, we can then rely on those same students to assist with the West Indian Law Journal, for example, or some other initiative. So the student is required to give a certain number of hours per week, for example, working on the journal, working on the park, working on whatever it is that we're doing. And that way, you also create something else. you create that continuing legacy that we're speaking about, because you also get as well students getting an opportunity to do what we see from everywhere else. We talk, for example, about the Harvard Law Journal. Let's use that as an example. It is a student published journal, as you would find the journals of most other institutions. And so we have to then, but the students, however, are able to be properly supported to be able to do the work that they do. We talk about you and the difficulty that my ambassador here spoke about in terms of being able to balance. There are a number of institutions where when you take on that responsibility, and I'm not suggesting that we do it here, they're taken on while you are on sabbatical from teaching, from your student life, so that you can commit fully to carrying out the functions that are there. So if it is, even if we don't go the sabbatical route, if we go that route where we allow persons to effectively integrate more into what it is, and we're able to provide that, then we're going to see greater benefit for all of us, including the alumni, in the quality and caliber of things coming out of the institution. So that is the way forward, supporting the history, of course, that we already have.
Not only am I part of the 1997 cohort, but I have had the opportunity to watch from ringside what is happening at the law school over the last 2 years, because my own son is currently now waiting the dreaded June 29th dropping of the grades. That's what I hear it says now, the grades will drop. Right? So I've had the opportunity to kind of hear, see, not just from him, but from, his colleagues, one of whom is Emily. And I have recognized that indeed, as Yolande would have said, things and times have changed. My concern, and I'm glad that the giving campaign is, whilst it's obviously going to have a financial aspect of it, I'm much more concerned about those soft skills that I think is unfortunately somewhat lacking in many areas for our graduates coming out. I'm not going to get into the conversation about the numbers, because that is quite another one altogether. We have the numbers, so we have to deal with it. How is it that our other cohorts, as well as ours, can practically assist in terms of, helping our, young attorneys coming out to appreciate that some of these soft skills are what gets you over the line to being not just a good attorney, but a great attorney? For example, how do we get an opportunity to share with them that your word, when you say you're going to do something, that's what you do? I've seen many a times, Chris, I'm sure you have had this, that persons, when you come before the court and you're not there, they say, no man, something is wrong. Because if Mr. Townsend isn't here, he would send a representative. So I'm going to stand this matter down for us to hear what is happening. We need to find some way, and Chris M., I'm going to ask you to share with us any thoughts that you would have as to how it is that we can help, because we, I think, are somewhat maybe on the edge of an abyss.
I'll say
no, man, that's a long question.
It is indeed long, but I've narrowed.
Somebody give you a long answer. Can we get drop up signal?
I've narrowed it. However, as my good friend, my brother Christy said, I am in office for a pregnant year. Right? However, having said that, there are some things we've already started to do, and there's a lot more to be done. And I think one of the things I did very early in the year, and with significant support again from my friend Chris here, was that we launched the dining initiative. And that was part of a broader framework that we're putting in place to include the social skills and the other things that are there. And you were there, Carla, and I think you also commented on the value you saw coming out of that initiative. And the intention is to continue that. But the intention is not to stop there, but to build on it. And I can assure you, after 2 more pregnant years, or another pregnant year added to this one, we will see even more happening. And the registrar who is sitting across there has already committed, even though he hasn't said it, but he's going to say it, that we're all moving on a common path to doing what we can.
Yes.
And we've always done that. The Norman Manley Law School is known to have taken steps and strides in different ways, different persons, different personalities, and so on, in doing things. And we're going to do more of that.
I guess in the wrapping up signal.
The wrapping up is 30 seconds. Give it to me. And I'm going to say here that we intend to introduce other programs about, voice and speech even, drama even, psychology even, and importantly, things that touch on emotional intelligence and other things in that area, where those same soft skills that you're speaking about can be brought out. And practice makes perfect. That's a short. And it is for us who have been there, those of us who see the gaps, to not only speak about the gaps, but to do something to ensure that those gaps are filled.
Nice. No, Mr. Registrar, they have a question for you here online. What is the average cost of attendance each year?
The average,
I'm thinking that at our time it might have been different. I'm sure it was.
Yeah. Currently, it's roughly about 1.5 million Jamaican dollars.
Million, you say?
Million. So it's roughly about 10,000 USD. And we usually say it's absolute value for money.
That is tuition.
Tuition, yes.
Cost for attendance, you see that as tuition, or do you break that down in another way?
Oh, you mean the economic cost, which includes tuition and other costs.
Right. So I suspect that what they're thinking about is separate and apart from the cost. What is it that an average student is expected to pay? What is it looking like?
Ms. Whiteley spoke about a significant part of it, which is the dress code. So you have the tuition fee, you'd have accommodation. Let's say, for example, someone is coming from outside of the jurisdiction. The accommodation on campus, I've seen some figures, depending on which hall of residence you decide to stay on. It could be 70 to 90,000 Jamaican dollars per month. So that's what you're looking at. And when you add food to that, I suspect that you're looking in the region of probably $20,000, $30,000 per month for food. And
so that's another $1.something million,
yeah.
right?
So the economic cost that we look at is roughly about 2.6 million Jamaican dollars. And we believe that that's the total cost for a student who is not repeating the year. So it's 1.5 for tuition fee, but when you add the other costs, I think you get somewhere in the region of about 2.6, 2.8 million.
So for the whole program, you're looking at what? 6 point?
For the entire program, over 2 years, then you're looking at close to 5.5, 6 million Jamaican dollars.
Okay, guys, we have our work cut out for us if it is that we're going to help these kids over the finish line. I want to just get from all of you, your final reflections. Give me 30 seconds and just give me your final reflections. Dr. Malcolm?
I love the idea of giving. I love the idea of our students participating. And I'm particularly happy to see that there are as many students represented here. The entirety of the incoming executive is here today. And we really need to applaud them for that, for being here. And as I have said, the most important thing to be seen, persons looking on to those we're giving to, is the excitement and the push that the students who are here are doing. The worst thing you could ever do is to give to persons who see it as blasé.
Yes.
That's the worst thing you could ever do. You can't get persons to give into anything if they don't believe that you're yourself excited about it, that you're happy to be part of it. And we're happy to see that, and we're going to encourage. I'm going to do another level of encouragement. Not now to the givers, but to the students to say, this is about you. This is about demonstrating that there is something that you want, that there's some way that you want us to assist you better, and that there's something you're prepared to do for yourselves in the process. Demonstrate in whatever way it can be done that you're prepared to give of yourself, mentoring your fellow students, doing something to show that you're interested in building the ecosystem that supports all of us. That is what I'd hope to see.
Miss Whiteley.
Right, 30 seconds. So I would commend the class of 1997 for taking the lead.
Yes, if you want to know.
You just took 5. But in taking the lead, and I encourage all the other classes to follow that lead, I would implore persons to dig deep. Think about how you can invest in the future of our profession. Yes? Give of your time, give of your money, give of your energy, anything that you're feeling. I would say lean into it as much as possible. And just to remember that they do call it a legal fraternity. And when you think of a fraternity, you're thinking of supporting others in it and those who are coming into it. And when you give to the students and to newly minted council, that will only enhance the strength of our fraternity.
Well, we're getting a wrap-up signal, President Brown.
Just echoing, right, less than 30 seconds. Just echoing what Ms. Whiteley said earlier, students now more than ever need the support, not just in cash, but in kind as well. And I'm just extremely proud of this initiative because I think it's a big deal and it's helping, or it's going to help a lot to the students that are up and coming. And I'm just urging the other cohorts to go ahead and take this initiative as an example and to just beat them to it and put them to shame. If they give 10 million, you give 20.
Okay. Emily, Miss Williams. Final words.
I would first like to say hats off to this campaign. And I will take the opportunity now to say thank you on behalf of the students whose lives you will be changing, because this is only the start of what is to come. Woman of few words, that's it.
Okay.
The need is great, and therefore this is an excellent initiative. And I would encourage persons who have not donated yet to do so, because it will go a long way in supporting a lot of the students. And I particularly like the finish line aspect of it in terms of financial contribution, because there are many students who will turn up to the office. Ms. Whiteley, you know that when you acted as senior tutor, Dr. Malcolm would have seen some elements of that. But it's really heart-wrenching when the student sits before you and says, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do the exam. So I will encourage persons to give so that we can help our students to complete the program.
Nice. My 1997 alumni. It has been an interesting evening, and I just want to remind you, 1, please complete the forms provided, because that is how you're going to interact with us, and that is how you're going to give your commitments. Right? Tonight marks the launch of an 8-week campaign. So this is not the end of it. We're going to go hard for 8 weeks. We want to deliver what we had promised Dr. Malcolm, that we will support him. Yes? So we want us to be serious about that. All right? So we want you to reach out to your contacts, make the connections, and make this happen. Now, I am going to kick it off. Yes? Now, I want my person from TWP, Dr. Malcolm, I come bearing gifts, you see. The law firm of TWP attorneys is happy to give you $2.5 million in support of this initiative. Wanna stop already, man? This is our commitment. We are putting our money where our mouth is. We are supporting. We are building giants here.
Yes,
all right?
wonderful.
And therefore, we have absolutely no difficulty in making this donation to you. It's just one day, and we have gone over $3 million already. All right? So, I'm going to invite the donors to come up. Well, there's only one of you. Yes. And it is my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, we have brought a close. We're closing the evening. It is my pleasure to declare the 1997 Cohort Giving Initiative launched. Come, let us take a picture together. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, everyone. It has been wonderful. Thank you for those who are online. Thank you, those who are online. So thank you to the class of 1997. Thank you to our donors, the panel who are here. Yes, thank you all for this evening.